What is up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to thank you because we have passed 50 subs. As you guys absolutely killed it last video, and I cannot express with words how much I appreciate it. Today we're going to be doing a tier list ranking every single Minecraft manhunt, and I feel like I'm gonna explain what each of these tiers mean. So, S, godlike. Whatever this manhunt is, it must have been the most intense that it could have ever been, and it was honestly, truly amazing. A tier, that means pretty good. It's a really good video. There were a lot of good plays from both Dream and the Hunters, or just one, but the Hunters usually have a strategy for every manhunt to be solid. Whatever, like this manhunt was a pretty decent video. Also, I'm only gonna be ranking the ones from 2 Hunters up because the 1 Hunter ones weren't really the same. It was filled with a lot of PvP and not really many big brain plays. C, average, honestly just a decent video, nothing else. And D is below average. Like, if a manhunt is in this tier, that means I definitely didn't like it. And also ignore my very good spelling. So we're gonna go in order that it has down here. Starting with Minecraft Speedrunner versus 5 Hunters, and I'm gonna put this at pretty good, top of pretty good. I think what really bumps this manhunt up is the boat clutch. The boat clutch was honestly like the most godlike play Dream has ever done, and it was insane to watch. The Hunters also had a really good play too, which was using the respawn glitch so that Dream could not kill the dragon. Alright, we are back, and the next one, Minecraft Speedrunner versus 5 Hunters finale. So this one felt weird. Like, it was intense, but there wasn't it was a bunch of intense moments. It's like strung together. There wasn't like enough banter and jokes to go in between. I think it's pretty solid. Like, Dream definitely had some pretty cool plays, like the leaf break MLG and that one where he like staircased and then like did the boat thing where he MLG'd, but he was like, you know how like when you get in a boat, you know, like it puts you to the location where the boat is, but Dream didn't quite reach the island itself, but the boat did. But it's fine. Good job, Dream. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent video. I just don't really like it as much as some of the others. Minecraft Speedrunner versus 5 Hunters rematch. Okay, hot take. This is top of solid. I think the gas clutch, the elytra, those. Honestly, I'm gonna move it up to like bottom of here. I just think that in this manhunt, Dream used a lot of brute force, and not as many like insane big brain plays. Like, the only 2 plays in this manhunt really, no, actually there were 3, but the farm water clutch, the gas clutch, and the end city and elytra thing. And I guess you can count that one hay bale MLG, but that was just like a hay bale MLG. It wasn't really anything too special. I think it was pretty decent for sure. It's just I'm not sure whether it's as good as the others. Minecraft Speedrunner versus 4 Hunters. This is a godlike one. Dream popped off in terms of big brain plays. This is the first manhunt where he used an axe, so his new strategy was learning a new type of PvP that not all of the Hunters knew how to do yet. I think only Sapnap and maybe George knew how. Actually only Sapnap knew. at this point in time. George kind of knew, but like, George is George. We all know what George is most known for. Anyways, I think that this manhunt had a lot of creative ways that Dream killed the hunters. Like the fishing rod, that was genius. I will say, like when I first watched this, I was like, "What? You can do that?" It was really funny. and then the Frostwalker trap, that was so cool. Like honestly, I didn't know that Dream could be that creative, and I was really wondering why he towered up in the middle of the water until I remembered Frostwalker, and I was like, oh, you sly dog, you actually did that. Anyways, Minecraft Speedrunner versus 4 Hunters finale rematch is gonna go above 5 Hunters finale in solid. I think this one has the same issue with the 5 Hunters rematch, where there's too much brute force. Like, too much of Dream's strategy relied on PvP. One thing I will say about this manhunt, it was intense in terms of the fights that happened. That's why it's in solid. And the main... No, and Dream did actually do a couple big burn plays. One of them was related to fighting, where he was on 1 heart and no hunger, and was like, hey, I have better stuff than you guys. You should definitely come and fight me. Yes, it is a great idea. He didn't say that. I think the biggest brain play he did was the Strider MLG and like the speed bridging. Speed bridging is not like anyone who's decent at the game can speed bridge, but it's including me. Like, I can speed bridge, not as well as Dream, but I can speed bridge. But the more impressive thing is that Dream actually MLG'd onto the Strider without hitting the lava at all. That is really impressive. Oh yeah, I forgot in the 4 Hunters video, he also like fishing rodded the Strider. That was pretty cool. Minecraft Speedrunner versus 4 Hunters finale. This might be a massive hot take, but I think this one goes top of godlike. Like, in every way, this manhunt was super intense. I will say, like, there was like at the beginning was insane, where like Dream was constantly getting hunted, and then like he kind of had time to get away with the ladder clutch. And then Ant got all the hunters full iron, and then Dream just like ran on top of a mountain and blew a couple of them up. Then he did the flying boat trick, and that was entertaining. A lot of the middle was just like him running errands and like getting all of his stuff, which is part of the manhunt. But I actually appreciate that kind of stuff, because it gives me a break from all of the intense moments, and it makes me laugh. Then the ending was insane, where Dream brute strength. First, he killed George by block trapping him and using entity cramming. So it may not be that clear, but if you like, it was a 2-block tall tunnel, and like George thought Dream was either AFK or smelting, so he was like, I'm gonna go kill him right now. But Dream was not looking at George, but he could see his name tag. And if you look at it really closely, he placed something. And there wasn't like any redstone involved. So it must have just been a block trap. And then Dream fought his hardest to get into the end portal and managed to do it. Like the punch bow, I will say, the punch bow was ridiculous. It got him so many kills. And then the end fight was insane. He got launched so high by the dragon and clutched on the very last possible block that he could have. He could have fell in the void from that. Like, that was so unbelievably intense. And then Dream just like sits on the tower, bows everything, but then the hunters get close to him, and then like the intense feeling happens again. Then he like pearls down, fights the dragon a little more, and there was another insanely close battle that ends with Dream finally pearling into the middle and killing the dragon. 400's grand finale. I think it goes in between these two. So this one was like a different kind of intense. There was a lot of like chasing. There wasn't much fighting, but there was a lot of like Dream getting chased by the hunters in the nether and almost dying. Like the scaffolding MLG was insane. The scaffold glitch. We cannot forget that Dream even got a parrot for the memes. We gotta respect the man. And then the firework crossbows. I know exactly where he got it from, and I'm sure you Dream SMP fans also know what I'm talking about. But that was so cool that he actually incorporated that into the Manhunt and got all the hunters. Then he was able to kill the dragon. I mean, it wasn't like I said, there wasn't much fighting, but I liked how there was a lot of chases, and Dream was on half a heart so much. Like, I was on the edge of my seat during that Manhunt. Minecraft Speedrunner versus 4 Hunters rematch. I like this one. I think it's pretty good. It's not as good as the 5 Hunters one, but I think I like it better than the grand finale because of Dream's insane nether portal in the roof trap. Plus, he got away from so many tough situations. Like, he ate a god apple to survive Ant trying to blow up the desert temple. Like, that is, if that's not insane, I don't know what is. There was also there was also plenty of fighting during this Manhunt, but I feel like the moment we can't forget from the 4 Hunters rematch, besides the nether roof trap, was the one cycle. This is the only time when Dream has actually one cycled the dragon as his choice method of killing it, and it was scuffed. It's hard to one cycle on servers. That it was honestly so insane. Like, the top speedrunners can pull it off really well, and Dream is no different. He doesn't speedrun on stream anymore, but it's fine. Minecraft Speedrunner versus 3 Hunters, I honestly thought this one was kind of average. Like, I didn't really like it that much. There was like the bed trap, the planks trap in the beginning was pretty cool. I really think I didn't like it that much because like the strategies Dream used were kind of basic because it was only 3 hunters. Like, don't worry. No, okay, actually, no, I just will say, the original 3 Hunters one, I don't like it as much. I feel like it's the ending where Bad Ed did the lava trap. That was very anticlimactic and just, like, it left me hanging, man. Like, but what I was excited about was the 3 Hunters rematch, which I'll rank now. The 3 Hunters rematch I thought was really cool. Like, I honestly, like, I want to put it in godlike, but I'm gonna put it top of pretty good, above the Speedrunner versus 5 Hunters, because like this one was longer and really drawn out, but it was an intense chase at the start. And then, I feel like what makes this one better is the fact that the hunters were more organized. Dream had to pull out the big brain plays, because if he didn't, he'd lose. He drank the potion in midair. He did the fire res potion bluff, which was just scummy, but also really cool. But what really did the trick was going to the second stronghold. That was actually probably the biggest brain thing he could have done. The hunters were waiting there, they had strength, there was nothing he could do except that. Then when the hunters finally got into the end, like, it was so intense because like Dream was like a 3-shot from the hunter's swords. And like my heart was beating so fast, and then he actually killed the dragon with less than a second to spare before he died. And that counted as a win. I just thought this Manhunt was really intense overall because of the amount of chases, the strategies that both sides used. And the fact that it felt like either side could have won. I like Manhunt when it's a little more even as well. Where both Dream and the Hunters pull out the big brain plays. I'll just rank the finale rematch now. This one, I think I'm gonna put it here because, well, in this one there was a lot of fighting, but one thing I do like about it is that Dream actually somewhat figured out how to use an axe. Not very well, but he still figured it out somewhat. Like, it's better for water combat to use an axe unless you're really good at comboing and have like insane movement, which I think Dream had, but he didn't want to risk it because he was fighting 3 people at once, and he just needed the raw power. And then the fact that it was 1.16 nether, that made it so intense because Dream pulled out this Strider play. He didn't really know what he was doing, so he got left on half a heart, but he got away, and then he had a Strider battle with Bad. It didn't, it kind of seemed ridiculous when I first watched it, until I realized that either Dream or Bad could have died from that. And then what happened in the end fight was insane. Like, Dream pulled out the mega PvP god that we all knew was inside of him and clapped George and Sapnap. But Bad knew what he was doing. He knew that since Dream had much less armor than him, the optimal strategy was to let Dream try and hit his shield so that Bad could do damage back, and then once Dream was low, Bad could just run after him. You see, Bad wasn't as good at PvP as George and Sapnap, but he knew the way to win. But what he didn't realize was that he was fighting Dream, the guy who had the audacity to wear his own skin. I feel like in the 300 series, Bad is truly the MVP of every Manhunt. He killed Bad in the original. He killed Dream in the original. He didn't do an outstanding job at all in the rematch, besides being an excellent communicator and organizing the chaotic duo of George and Sapnap. And in the finale, he literally fisted Dream to death. In the finale rematch, he almost killed Dream. In the grand finale, he thought of the idea of getting to the end before Dream. Bad was literally the MVP. He doesn't have to be the best at PvP, he just has to have a gigantic brain and think of good strategies, because that's what Manhunt is. And now the 300's finale, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Not as good as the 300's rematch, but I quite liked how the Hunters enchanted, but Dream found a way to kill them with the End Crystal. And they had a very intense fight in the end, where Dream had better gear and strength pods, but the Hunters had 3 of them. Dream ultimately beat them and built them all, but he didn't realize how low he was, so then Bad just killed him with his fist, which was extremely funny and provided very much comic relief. But the End Crystal play wasn't even the most intense. He literally had the idea to splash invis on everyone so no one knew who they were. It was chaos. George and Bad both died. Sapnap got their stuff and got away, but that was so intense. Literally how? I don't even know. Alright, Minecraft Speedrunner versus 2 Hunters. A lot of fighting, not really, not even that much chasing. It seemed like Dream easily had the upper hand during most of it. I will say, it's not below average because of the Pearl Clutch. The Pearl Clutch was insane, and that was the moment when I knew that Dream did not have the advantage. like, while he may be better than the hunters, when they finally worked together, he was at a disadvantage. George and Sapnap were just disorganized. They didn't have Bad to organize them. And now, Dream's most viewed video, the 3 Hunters Grand Finale. You all know where I'm putting this. Top of S. Okay, in my defense, how could I not? The start was extremely intense. The hunters had half iron and an iron sword. Dream grabbed the hay bales and managed to hay bale MLG off of a mountain and save himself. Then he had the bright idea to dig down underwater. But after that, the hunters were way ahead in gear. So what they did was they enchanted, and they had the idea to go get blaze rods, break the spawners so Dream couldn't get them, and get to the end before him. What they overlooked was that Dream is a god. Even before he learned how to use an axe, he knew what he was doing with that sword of his. I could even see like certain skills where he was like clearly training in axe PvP. Where like he knew to jump behind George and crit him to kill him and take his blaze rods so that he could go to the end. Dream even pulled out the axe to scare Sapnap away after critting him twice. That's a little detail that I found quite cool. And then there was this insane water chase where I thought Dream would lose until he picked up the hunter's boat. Then in classic Dream fashion, cue the music. He went off in a boat. That is like his favorite way to escape, I swear. And then we can't forget it. The last part of the grand finale, where Dream put TNT through the end portal and killed all of the hunters with their enchanted armor and enchanted bows. It didn't matter. All that mattered is that Dream is an absolute legend, and we should treat him that way. And if you want me to rank these, I mean, I guess I can. I've seen them. I would put this one here, probably, because like I mean, it was kind of interesting to watch, but like there was a lot of PvP, and then the ending was anticlimactic, where Dream fell, and then George just hit him twice and murdered him. Now this one was actually quite good. Like I liked this, and you know, like this one, what you could tell, Dream had his skills from the 3 Hunters videos. Like he was a world record speedrunner now. He wasn't the same Dream where he made the first ever Minecraft speedrunner versus Hunter. He was a trained, seasoned professional. And now the one where George speedran, I didn't really like it. Like, George is nowhere near as good as Dream, so the video wasn't as good, and like, the only reason George had a ghost of a chance is because Dream kept messing up. But then Dream just killed him with his fist. So this is the only Manhunt that I actually kind of thought was a little below average. Every other video I thought was really good. So this is my tier list. Comment down below if you guys agree or disagree with this and what you would change. Anyways, I'm out.